Welcome to another week of Techno Apps subject. Again, I'm your teacher, Shalome W. Pareha. For this week, let's talk about our topic, Automated Robot Arm. Again, this topic is under Techno Gadget subject. For our topic, Automated Robot Arm, let's have first our situation. So with the list of the angles you have acquired or we have discussed from our previous lesson last week, you can now code the robot for automation. As a manufacturing manager, you would need to understand how automation would help our company or your company. So let's proceed with our discussion. Automated robot arm. So one of the biggest strengths of robot is when we automate it. Automated work done by a robot can do tasks that require a lot of repetition but doesn't lose any quality of work. In complicated system inside a manufacturing plant, automation plays a role in breaking down process that would otherwise take a huge amount of time. So if a skilled human worker would perform it, it will take more time than using an automated robot. So as we say, for our meeting this week, we will take a peek of what it's like to automate a simple pick and place task performance of a robot automated arm. So again, automated work done by a robot can do tasks that require a lot of repetition but doesn't lose any quality of work. So aside from that, let's go first to know what is automation. So automation, the ability to operate a system automatically is vital for any type of work. So it is very important. Maybe at home, in our school, in factories, the convenience to have less human effort while achieving the same or even higher quality of work is essential in shaping our future. So by automating industrial skills, we humans may focus on skills on social and complex problem solving. However, learning how to automate is also just as important as knowing what automation can do. So for this lesson, or for our lesson, we will be automating the robot arm that we have built. So we will be coding a simple left and right movement, and later, we will be automating a pick and place task. So let's move on with servo motor drive shield. So as you can see on the photo, despite its lengthy name, the servo motor drive shield, it has a simple task of segmenting servo motors to help you code each one for automation. It has a 32 channels with 3 pins aligned horizontally. So the 3 pins are the letter A, B, and letter C, and then we also have here letter D. So what are those? So let's talk about it one by one. So letter A, or the signal pin. So on this part, the output the command to the servo motor. So that is the signal pin. Letter B, or the positive pin. This is the output voltage for the servo motor. So how about letter C? It is the negative pin, or we also known as our ground pin. Letter D is our RX-TX pin, and it runs the output and input from the Arduino. Next, we have letter E, the VS, GND, and then the VSS. So it connects the incoming power from the battery. Next is letter F. This is the single channel. So it contains the signal, which is the positive and then the negative pins. So there are 32 channels for this drive shield. So we have here from negative to positive. So there are 32 channels. So let's always remember these letters from A to F. So again, those were the signal pin, positive pin, negative pin, the RXTX pin, the VSGND VSS pin, and then the single channel. So aside from that, let's move to, here are the 3 pins. The 3 pins are the representatives of the pins of the servo motor. So insert them accordingly. So make sure that when you are connecting the pins of the servo motor is that you represent them or insert them correctly and accordingly to make sure that our robot arm will work accordingly as we program it. So to avoid technical problems, so insert them properly or accordingly. So there are 3 pins. Make sure that you insert the 3 pins correctly. So aside from the hard part, we also have the soft part or the program. So these are the serial programming. So to be able to automate our robot arm or to program our robot arm, we will code in serial programming. As this type of programming help us communicate with our servo motor drive shield. So we have here our sample. So let's move to the next page. So as we have observed in our drive shield, we have 32 channels or 32 sets of positive, negative, and signal pins. So each set of pins dictates the codes that we are going to use. So again, we have here 3. We have here, it represents A, B, and C. So the letter A is the channel number, which indicates what channel you want to move. So if the servo motor is connected to channel 7, we shall code it as number sign 7, or as you know, hash number 7 or the hashtag number 7, or we also call that as number sign number 7. Next, we have the pulse. So it dictates what angle the servo motor moves. So it has a formula. So we have to write this down or take a screenshot of it and then remember it by not only by this but also by heart. So the formula for the angle or degrees is angle degrees times 11.11 plus 500. So let's have an example. Example, 80 degrees times 11.11 plus 500 is equal to 1,388.8 or 1,389. Hence, the code for it is P1389. So we will round off to the nearest tenth. So that is 1389. So again, remember our formula. So for the formula, we have the angle degrees times 11.11 plus 500. So remember that, and this is an example because this formula, you will utilize or use this formula as you answer our objective test as we go along with our subject. So please remember this formula and how you're going to use it for coding. So 80 degrees is equal to P1389. So how we're going to arrive with P1389? So our Formula is angle degrees times 11.11 plus 500. So letter C, we have the time. So we have sets the time in seconds. So it needs to perform the movement dictated. So T 2000 in the code states that it needs to move the servo motor in 2 seconds. So it is performed in seconds. So always remember that. So when we say T 2000, it means the servo motor needs to move for 2 seconds. So always remember that part in programming. So serial that print in open bracket parenthesis, the letter A is the channel number. What number are you going to insert or put your servo motor where it is connected, what channel? So if you have decided, so write the number sign or the hashtag sign and then the number, what channel would you like to put it. Next, the pulse. It dictates what angle is the movement, the angle movement of the servo motor. So it is very important to have your formula with you. That is the angle degrees times 11.11 plus 500. And then you are able to know what code are you going to use for your servo motor. Next is the time. Of course, you need to set the time. So, for example, T2000, so it means that the set or the movement will move for 2 seconds. So, that's how our serial programming works for the automation of our robot arm, or how our robot arm will perform automation. So, you need to have your serial programming. So always remember the 3 parts. The A, channel number, B, pulse, and C, the time. So next is, after this one, we can now proceed on answering our objective test and performance test. So always remember to stay safe and happy learning to everyone. If you have any more questions, clarifications, or suggestions on how we can improve our video lesson, please don't hesitate to send me an email, my contact number, my Facebook account, or my MS Teams account. So thank you very much for watching. Again, stay safe and happy learning.